Hey everybody, today I wanted to give you a brief, and I do mean brief, introduction to each character currently on the roster in REMEMENTO White Shadow. Name, gimmick, positive and negative, to give you sort of an idea of what each does and where to use each one of them before you begin your journey in the game. I'm Shrike, like, comment, and subscribe for more gacha content. Let's dive in. Let's start with the 5 stars. Protagonist. He has a freeze kit, might be decent in a full freeze team, but largely is underwhelming, not used anywhere. Xeon. Light unit, so element neutral. High damage AoE DPS that scales with the amount of buffs he has on him and can give himself immunity. Great in PvP, solid in PvE. Ferrancy. Dark, so element neutral. She's a mana battery. Can fully charge the MP of your team so you can pull off all your best moves. Great in PvP, make her fast. Bernice. Your typical forest element shielder. Can help survivability in PvE, but PvP, early ranks can make good use of her, but she falls off in mid ranks, and then if heavily invested can come back again in high ranks and be very annoying. Artnis. PvE MVP. Fire element, AoE damage over time. Anything that isn't water will pretty much melt. Give her effect hit and pair her with Jeremiah to make your PvE journey a cakewalk. Also available in the beginner's banner, not a bad choice. But also spending 99 cents can also get her if you're willing to do that. Chloe. Water element healer. Crazy good everywhere. And also available in the selector. Only other good option in there besides Artnis. And if you've spent for Artnis or got her from rolling, Chloe is highly recommended. Isania. Fire element AoE, chance to get extra turns, she can go absolutely crazy. Good in both PvE and PvP, but less so in PvP since most people run Chloe as their healer, and so fire DPS will struggle to take her out. Monica. High damage scaling forest DPS, very stat hungry though as she scales off many different stats instead of just one. Beatrice. Best water DPS in the game. AoE damage, great jiggle animation on her ultimate, can cleave in PvP if the enemy doesn't have a Bernice, and can be super clutch in many PvE modes such as the Abyss. Not ideal in the most farmed dungeon, the Forest Boss, where you get the speed gear set. Chesha. Dark single target nuker, has the ability to silence an enemy, used as an opener in PvP to shut down the enemy DPS. Make her fast and accurate. Diana. Super versatile support unit, where Ferrancy gives you more MP, Diana just makes skills cost less. Similar effect, different way to get there. Extremely good in PvP, not bad in PvE, but there are better options. Priscilla is a water support unit used in PvP to cut in front of a team trying to cleave. Her passive boosts your attack gauge when the enemy uses skills, so she can really screw up some attack comps. Libertas is the queen of PvP. AoE attack bar reduction, element neutral, make her fast and accurate, and the enemy shouldn't ever get a turn. She also has an AoE defense break that's very useful. Enas. Fire healer / DPS. Suffers the same fate most hybrids do. She ends up being underwhelming at both. Better off just using a dedicated DPS and a dedicated healer. But she does add attack buff and give your team life drain, which is pretty cool. Ivy. Newer unit. Forest single target DPS that can push back attack bar. Good in boss PvE, usable in PvP but not fantastic. Not great in PvE battles with many mobs. Now we start the 4 stars. Serie. Forest element starter healer. Pretty solid, can heal passively. If you don't have Chloe, solid choice. Jeremiah. Fire element DPS. Can't hit very hard, but her ultimate can explode damage over time effects, so the enemy takes the damage immediately instead of having to wait. Used in the Artnis PvE team to melt content. Just make her go after Artnis. Theodore. Light element, the Taunt King. Can also shield, but that's less important. You use him so that the enemy, usually PvE boss content, focuses only on him and not on your squishy DPS. Very underrated unit, make him tanky. Lilia. Dark. Self-harming healer, not the greatest healer, but she does heal if she's all you have. Used wherever a healer would be needed. Yuri. Forest DPS, heavily invested, she is very good. She keeps getting faster and faster and hitting harder and harder. Her scaling is very high for a 4 star. Shutein is your budget Ferrancy. but in the water element. Mana Battery, very good support unit, can even buff attack, don't overlook her. Roussin, this guy can put a bunch of debuffs on the enemy, including can't receive buffs. And he can also strip a buff off the enemy if they do manage to get one on. Light element, so element neutral. Not used anywhere, but not a bad kit on paper. Lucas, fire element breaker. Literally, his whole kit is focused on breaking the enemy's guard, which could potentially be good with the speed set boss, since she's forest element, but would probably require heavy investment. Not really used anywhere. Pluto, extremely good fire support unit. Can increase guard damage, so works in a Lucas team, and can AoE defense break, and can increase crit chance as well as attack for the whole team. Great as the opener for a cleave team. Make her fast, and don't ignore accuracy for those debuffs. But beware, the character that just released, named Machina, or Machina, is a direct upgrade to her. I wouldn't say it's a power creep, but certainly an upgrade. If you have Machina, there's no reason to use Pluto. They're even the same element. Rampart, water element tank, freeze kit. Does well in turtle teams, but not much else. Has a glorious beard. Hajin, forest control unit. Can make the enemy's skills cost more and push their attack bar back. Could be good in boss content or PvP, but not used anywhere because he probably requires too much investment to be worth it. Sacha is your free-to-play water single target nuker. Very decent, and if you're playing 4 stars only, she will probably be your main DPS. And she just got an outrageously good looking skin, so maybe reason enough to use her. Kana, HP scaling fire AoE DPS, self-harming damage dealer, but she has built-in heals with each attack. So if built as a bruiser, she's very hard to kill, especially if paired with Enas for that life drain effect. And finally, Xiang. Newest 4-star, nobody has tested her yet, but she has an AoE silence and an AoE sleep. I can't see her being bad in PvP. Most likely will be very good. Make her fast and accurate. She probably won't be too bad in PvE either, as long as the mobs you're fighting can be silenced or slept. And there you have it, just a brief overview of each character so that you have a good idea of what each one does. There are a lot and it can be overwhelming. But with that being said, I'm gonna fly. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.